Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video lecture, we will cover a new chapter of biology, that is biodiversity and conservation. So basically, biodiversity is the occurrence of different types of ecosystems, different species of organisms and their variant types like biotypes, ecotypes and gene. And this term was coined by Edward Wilson. And the vast array of species of microorganisms, algae, fungi, plants and animals occurring on Earth either in terrestrial or aquatic habitats and ecological complexes of which they are part comprises biodiversity. The important diversity at the level of biological organizations are genetic diversity, species diversity and ecological diversity. Genetic diversity, a single species might show high diversity at genetic level over its distributional region. And species diversity, diversity at species level. For example, the Western Ghats have more amphibian species than Eastern Ghats. Then ecological diversity is deserts, rainforests, mangroves, etc. are type of ecological diversity. According to IUCN, the total number of plants and animal species described so far is about 1.5 million, but still many species are yet to be discovered and described. More than 70% of the species is recorded are animals, while rest are plants including algae, fungi, bryophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Among animals, almost 70% of the total are insects, and the number of fungi species in the world is more than the combined total of the species of fishes, amphibians, reptiles and mammals. Then biodiversity in India. India is one of the 12 mega biodiversity countries of the world. India has only 2.4% of the land area. It has 8.1% of global species biodiversity, and there are about 45,000 species of plants and about 90,000 to 1 lakh species of animals. New species are yet to be discovered and named, and patterns of the biodiversity are latitudinal gradients. Diversity of plants and animals is not uniform throughout the world and show uneven distribution. Species diversity decreases as we move from equator towards the pole. Tropic harbor more species than temperate or polar areas. Like Amazon forest has the greater biodiversity on the earth. It has more than 40,000 species of plants, 1,25,000 species of insects, 300 species of fish and many more. Various hypotheses are proposed regarding this, such as speciation is the function of time. Unlike temperate regions subjected to frequent glaciation, tropical latitude have remained relatively undisturbed and thus had long evolutionary time for species diversification. Then tropical environments, unlike temperate one, are less seasonal and more constant. There is more solar energy available in tropic, which contribute to higher productivity. Then species area relationship. Alexander von Humboldt has discovered that within a region, species richness get increased when explored area is increased, but only up to a limit. The relationship between species richness and area for number of taxa like angiospermic plants, freshwater, fishes and birds is found to be rectangular hyperbola. On log scale, relationship is a straight line described by the equation log S equals to log C plus Z log A, where S is the species, A is the area, Z is the slope of the line and C equals to Y minus the intercept. Then the importance of species diversity. Communities with more species are generally more stable, and a stable community should not show much variation in productivity from year to year. Then rivette poppet hypothesis given by Paul Ehrlich. In an aeroplane resembles the ecosystem, and all parts are joined together using thousands of rivets, that is resembled as species. And if every passenger traveling in it is it starts popping out the rabbit to take home, like causing a species to become extinct. It may affect the flight safety, any proper functioning of ecosystem. Then initially, but as more rabbits are removed, the plane become dangerously weak over a period of time. Furthermore, which rabbit is removed may also be critical. Then loss of rabbits on the wings is obviously a more serious threat to flight safety than loss of a few rabbits on the seat or window inside the planes. Then the loss of biodiversity. The biological wealth of our planet have been declined rapidly due to three factors: population, urbanization, and industrialization. In general, loss of biodiversity in a region may lead to a decline in plant production, lowered resistance to environmental perturbation, drought and flood, and increased variability in ecosystem processes such as productivity, water use, and pest and disease cycle. Then what are the causes of biodiversity loss? First, the habitat loss and fragmentation. Second, the overexploitation. Habitat loss and fragmentation is the most important cause of animals and plant extinction. The Amazon forest, that is the lungs of the planet, having millions of species, is being cut and cleared for cultivating soybeans or for conversion to grasslands. And overexploitation, when biological system is overexploited by man for natural resources. It results in degradation and extinction, like examples Steller, sea cow, and passenger pigeon. Third is the alien species invasion. When alien species enter intentionally or unintentionally, some of them turn invasive and cause a decline or extinction of indigenous species. Like example, the Nile perch introduced into the Lake Victoria in East Africa led eventually to the extinction of an ecologically unique assemblage of more than 200 species of cichlid fish in the lake. An example, the carrot grass, Parthenium, Lanthana, and water hind cause threats to the indigenous species. And fourth reason is the coextinction. Like when the species become extinct, the plant and animal species associated with it also become extinct. When a host fish species become extinct, its unique assemblage of parasites also become extinct. Then biodiversity conservation. We have conserved the biodiversity due to following groups of regions. Like first, the narrowly utilitarian, in which humans obtain countless direct economic benefits from nature with increased resources put into bioprospecting. Nations endowed with rich diversity can expect to reap enormous benefits. Then the broadly utilitarian, biodiversity plays a major role in ecosystem service that nature provides. And ethical, for conserving biodiversity, relates to what we own to millions of plants, animals, and microbes. Then how do we conserve biodiversity? There are two ways: in situ and ex situ conservation. In situ conservation, the method involves protection of endangered species in their natural habitat, and in ex situ, it involves placing of threatened animals and plants in special care under protection. And in situ conservation, it helps in recovering population in the surrounding where they have developed their distinct features, example national park, biosphere reserves, wildlife sanctuary, etc. And in ex situ conservation, it helps in recovering population or preventing their extinction under stimulated conditions that closely resemble their natural plants, example botanical garden and zoological park. So this much for today's video. Hope you liked it and understood it. Thank you for watching my video.